All right, so this one is what it's like to be on a dinosaur dig. A lot of planning, a lot of prospecting, a lot of collecting, and when you get back, you gotta prepare them and curate them. So when you go out there, and especially around in the Badlands there of North Dakota and Montana, most of the places you dig dinosaurs out there, it's a desert condition, and you have to deal with some differences that you would normally find in Wisconsin here. A lot of rattlesnakes, scorpions, even some mountain lions, and really the rocks out there. There are very few trees, grass, and all that. It's a lot of rocks you could slip on, and that's probably the most dangerous part. And even a lot of bees. You're outside camping, so I mean the wasps would go into your cereal, and yeah, it's just a little different. So if you don't like camping and being outside, it isn't for you. But if you do, it's a beautiful place to go and just a great experience. It is warm, about 105 degrees as average. No shade. Some people bring umbrellas along. And again, you crawl. A lot of times you're crawling on your hands and knees looking for stuff, or sometimes you're crawling on your belly there. And it gets warm. You bring a lot of water with you. This is us where we're working on a Tyrannosaur dig. This is the jaw right here. You can see some of the teeth. It gets so high, we put little tarps over with mesh so it allows the wind to go through to keep the sun off of us. Sometimes if we're lucky, we were in a like an old bunkhouse, but that was with the Milwaukee Public Museum. But a lot of times we're just in like right here. This is a couple of years ago. Um, there's my Jeep over there, and it's just a field you're in, and they usually we try to get into a fenced area there to keep some of the wildlife out. And here it is, right about where we were going on this formation that we're in is called the Hill Creek Formation. It's right at the end of when the dinosaurs died. So we like to study that to see what kind of dinosaurs were there and what kind of life was around in there. And you camp. Here's where I'm looking out of my tent. Sometimes you're by a lake if you're lucky, but most of the times there's very little water. Um, and you're in big pits like this in the middle of the sun. So if you don't like being outside, this is not for you. There's a picture of me a long time ago when I was probably about 24 or 25, a long time ago, hiking out. And this is kind of what the Badlands look like. A lot of rocks, a lot of uh, sedimentary rocks, a lot of sandstone, a lot of siltstone, and not a lot of trees. You have to bring all your equipment out with you. You have to bring your books. You have to bring your rock pick. A lot of times you bring a little camera on, but cameras don't do too well out in the heat. Gloves, everything you need, and definitely water. We usually brought out about 9 liters like this of water a day. So you'd have to pack all those liters into your backpack and carry it out with you. And sometimes like this, big jackhammers, we'd have to carry out the jackhammers, and yeah, they were heavy to bring out, and then generators too to run them. So it's not an easy trek, and your camp is probably many miles away from where you're working. It's not like you're working right where you're camping. What I did a lot of times is I would dig big trenches up in there to see what the rocks were like and what kind of environment these dinosaurs died in. Like here's a Peckless like a ramhead that we found right up here, way up here. And we just dug this huge trench. You could see a person right there going down so we could see the different layers of the rock. And here's another one where we did like steps kind of going on so we could plateau across. And we did a lot of detailed drawings, detailed field notes. Electronics don't work too well in the heat, and there's not an internet signal. So we didn't bring a lot of that, but you just bring your geology notebook out and you sketch, you draw, you write, and sometimes you take some pictures and all that stuff. But a lot of that does not work out there. So the next one we're gonna stop right there. It's going to be the formation that I studied a lot of, and that's where all the fossils that you're going to do sorting on is going to be. Uh, that is like the end of when the